everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Barely Balanced Tarot. This is Chris, and today I'm finally able to do a walkthrough of a tarot deck that I have been waiting, I think over a year for. I first saw the cover picture on the Llewellyn catalog for upcoming 2020, so probably saw it was last year sometime. It was supposed to be released in October, but there were some delays. I had to cancel my Amazon order twice and ended up finally just ordering it direct from Llewellyn. But this is the new Heaven and Earth Tarot by Lo Scarabeo. The artist and creator is Jack Sephiroth. He's a really cool artist. Obviously, I'm enamored with the artwork in this deck. But he is on Instagram, and there are pics there of an upcoming deck that he's also working on, a Norse rune. I want to say it's a tarot. Maybe it's just a rune deck. I can't remember. But the artwork for that looks really cool too. So actually what I want to do today is walk through this with the Rider-Waite-Smith, because I like to do those comparisons. But then also side by side with the Darkness of Light Tarot. A lot of people have compared this to Darkness of Light, not necessarily, imitation of the images, but just kind of maybe mood and tone. I think probably most importantly the use of light in both of them. That's what they that's where they sort of shine in comparison for me that way. But I'm going to try to get through the preliminary stuff kind of quickly and then start going through the cards. Excuse me. Because I got all set up to do this, and then my mom called and she's like on her way from the country to come visit. So I'm going to try to wrap it up before she gets here, but we'll see. So the first thing is the package, the kit, which is Lo Scarabeo. Now, I really love the compact boxes Lo Scarabeo has been doing, like these, and I will always prefer compact to, I want something I can carry it in, but I think this is kind of a new kit for Lo Scarabeo. It's very reminiscent of, actually it's just like the Llewellyn kits now. So, but the box is a little smaller, it's a little more compact, but pretty much the same thing. You've got a magnetic enclosure. I'm gonna burn it. Place for the cards to go, but this is absolutely useless to me because I will not be keeping my cards in there. But yeah, that's cool. It's a really cool box. I'm not going to spend any time on that. I prefer something compact I can actually carry my cards in. But the book is something to definitely take a look at. Unlike most of Lo Scarabeo books where, first of all, you get a small one anyway, but usually half of the book is English and then half is the other languages. This time, I guess somehow to their US distributors, the whole thing is English, and there are 150 or so pages. Oh, this spread, oh my gosh, check your focus. There we go. Sorry, I don't know, is that, looks a little hard. Why is that so bright? Anyway, I hope you can see that. There's a spread here that I do want to try. It's called the As Above, So Below spread. This is the Heaven and Earth Tarot, so the kind of intro, and it talks about As Above, So Below as kind of a theme throughout the deck, Heaven and Earth combining. So this is kind of cool. I have done similar spreads like this, but I kind of like the way they have the layout here. So you have the 1, 2, 3 for the above, the 4, 5, 6 for the below, and then the 7, 8, 9 is what's bridging the two together. And this is just such a easy representation of the Tree of Life, underworld, upper world, and then the tree that unites the two. So I'm going to be working with that. I may not use the exact same lost my words. I might change around some of the keywords that he's used for that, or she. Jamie Elford. Jonathan Daly is a friend of this person. I can't remember if it's a guy or girl. Jamie Elford did the write-up for this book, which is actually, again, pretty good. What I want to see in a guidebook is a description of the actual art on the card, because I can pick out details a lot easier that way when I know, and especially on some of these, there's some ghosting images on, especially in the court cards, and sometimes I can make them out really easily, and sometimes I can't, especially with some of the birds. So I like to have descriptions from the artist of the art, and then I'm good to go. But it is actually a really nicely done guidebook. So I've been babbling over that. So speaking of things to keep your cards in, I did get the bag. I'm a sucker for Lo Scarabeo's bags. Excuse me. So this actually got here several weeks before the deck did, but it's pretty cool. I like it, and I just love that full image. So the whole kit is really nicely packed. This does not come with the kit. So these are the cards. I edged mine. Edged mine in with a gray Sharpie, and I would say I tried to get this sort of rough look on purpose, but I did not. But I did just sort of go with it. Gray Sharpie for me. I had 3, and they, for some reason, just seemed to sort of dry out. And plus, the gray, for some reason, or with this paper cardstock, like the slightest bit of pressure made darker areas, or if you went over something lightly, like there was a lot of variation. So I just kind of went with it, and actually I really like it. I like the gray with the gray, and then of course the palette of the whole deck has this nice silvery gray to it, which is, it makes everything seem of a world. And one of the things I like about this is the landscapes, because I do stories, visual storytelling, and when you have really cool landscapes that can kind of line up like that, which is one of the reasons people love Terre de Marseille so much, it's really easy to see the characters sort of in a world together. So A+ for that, which is one of the reasons I love this deck. The backs are really nicely done. I love a simple, elegant design on a back. I just don't understand some choices. I'm gonna probably say that every time I do talk about backs. But there's a, don't know, yeah, you can see hexagram there, the 6-pointed star, Star of David, fire, water together, hexagram, but it's all over the back. But it's so, like, from a distance, it just looks like texture on the card, which I really like. I'm probably going to pause here and get set up with the other 2 decks. So I'll be right back. I know you're not going anywhere, so. All right. Okay, I think we're good and zoomed in. So, doing walkthroughs with a Rider-Waite or a TDM side by side with whatever deck it was inspired from, I think pretty cool. I'm going to stick with that. I did that with my first one. So we'll have a Rider-Waite Smith on the right, but for this walkthrough, I also wanted to do side by side with the Darkness of Light again, because there are so many comparisons. Because this one's given me the same kind of, lovely, all the feels that Darkness of Light gives me too. So, and this is my, I hate to say this out loud for the first time, soul deck, but it's my soul deck. I don't know if I believe in soul decks. We definitely have a polyamorous relationship. But yeah, this is like, if I couldn't take anything else with me, I would make sure I kept that. And I do have another copy, the 3rd edition, and the 4th edition is upcoming for the holidays. It's going to be on linen cardstock. The artwork is going to be enhanced and the same design with the little bubble thing like the 3rd edition, but it's back. It's going to be in black. And some people that I'm jealous of have already got their advanced copies of that. There were 100 advanced copies that already sold out, but there'll be back. There'll be more. So I can't wait to have my ride or die deck in a more luscious cardstock. So anyway, this Rider-Waite Smith is a favorite of folks. It is the Pentacles Vintage, and I've edged that. Also, give it kind of a old, worn, dirty look with some of the distressed ink. This deck is hard to keep in order because I just love shuffling it so much. It's like playing cardstock, linen finish. That's one of my favorites to shuffle over and over and over. It just makes me happy. Speaking of cardstock, this is, to me, I guess, typical Lo Scarabeo's cardstock. It's quite a bit firmer than Llewellyn's. It's good cardstock. I actually tend to find Lo Scarabeo's cardstock a little hard for me to shuffle, but I have arthritis issues, so. But this is difficult for me to shuffle too, and anyway. We could do a whole series on shuffling. Alright. So this deck is very much sticking to the Rider-Waite symbolism. It has a little bit of Toth thrown in there. I'm not familiar with the Toth system. I know I've seen all the cards and stuff forever, but I can see some definite nods to that in here. There may be more that I don't know, and I'm certainly other people will be able to point that out. But it also has, I'll show you the title card here. It has, like, I don't know, I guess pretty much every esoteric piece of information you could want to know on here as well. And I don't know all these. I read visually, so I don't, even if I know, I don't usually apply the esoteric stuff. But there's little arrows here, and another YouTuber pointed that out, that this represents where, or the direction on the tree of life, if you do like Canada, if you do Kabbalah, tree of life work, stuff like that. So there's all the esoteric information is on there, but what I love is that it's so unobtrusive that I really don't have to, I just totally forget that it's there. And while we're on that, the pips have keywords on them, along with all the other esoteric information that might be associated with it. And I thought originally it was the Toth keywords. Dustin at Modern Metaphysicae confirmed, though, that it's the Golden Dawn keywords, which they're pretty similar. I think Aleister Crowley may have changed a few of them, but it's with the Lord of stuff removed, so it's just like, just a keyword, not the Lord of defeat or the Lord of earned success, just earned success. And I don't really gel with the keywords, that's why I've never really bothered to learn the Golden Dawns or Crowley's. But it's not at all, you can see when the card's down. You can see the number in the suit easily. The title, the way that it's written, and the colors that they use is just so unobtrusive. I actually just totally forget that they're there, so that doesn't bother me at all. I actually think it's kind of cool to have a deck with those keywords and the esoteric information on here, but in such a way that it doesn't detract from the actual artwork of the cards itself, or the cards themselves. Because, this is stuff that you might be interested in, and you know, I will too, even if I don't apply it to my readings, but a lot of people do. So it's kind of neat to have a deck with that information in there if you want to have it for whatever reason. So, all right, so I do recommend reading at least the description of the images from the book, because it even goes into like the flame color of the fabric on here, and then of course you've got the tree of life here and the coins, and there's lots of details in here that you might not pick up on. And here's one nod to Toth here, and that is you can barely see because the color of the card, there's a crocodile, and of course the Fool in the Crowley deck has a crocodile. So definitely worth reading the descriptions in the book, even if you don't use the meanings or whatever. So, oh gosh, I feel like I'm just rambling. All right, let's get started. So again, the focus will be on this deck. Rider-Waite-Smith's going to hang out on the side, just to see if we have any interesting contrasts or comparisons. And then as an extra, we'll also flip through with Darkness of Light. And I can already tell you, I haven't picked up this deck in a while. But every time I do and I come back to it, I'm just blown away by the art all over again, and all the little things I forgot about it. So while this is in order and this is in order after this video, I'm pretty much just going to have to do a walkthrough of this and just share with you my favorite deck in the world. So I will try not to talk about this too much. I can't promise anything because it's my favorite deck, and I'm going to be excited about both of these. So anyway, all right, so the Fool, I think I can bring it down now. The Fool, as you can see, it's very very close to the Rider-Waite-Smith imagery. You've got the face in the same direction. You've even got the same sort of flourishes in the sleeve there. The bag, the sun, the white dog, but again, you've got the crocodile nod back to the Toth Tarot. You also have a little dove here in the top. Let me bring that up closer. And that is, I'm not sure, there are these sort of ghosting images that, excuse me, are in some of the majors, a few of the minors, and all of the courts. And sometimes it's easy to make out. So I don't know if that's a bird flying here or if it's one of the ghosted images. I think it's just a bird. But you can see there's like this sort of design behind him, and I haven't actually read the description yet, but I'm sure it will tell you what that design is. But it's almost like a halo, but it's also like a mandala, but it actually kind of looks like snowflakes or in the shape of mistletoe. I don't know. It's beautiful. But there's so much detail. There's like an actual tree, branches or roots on the bag here. Again, you've got the coins in the shape, or the buttons in the shape of the tree of life from the Gavala. Just gorgeous, and the landscapes just completely draw me into stories. I've pretty much decided that's why I love the Tarot Noir, because there's so much open space, and it just creates landscapes and things look like they belong together. You know, I just love that. So there's the Fool, Darkness of Light. This dog that you see throughout the deck is Tony DeMauro's actual dog for the deck, so he shows up in a few cards throughout the deck, and I love him. All right, here's the Magician, and again, you have the same coloring from the Rider-Waite with the red and the white. You've got the implements on the table. You've got the lilies and the roses that may be a little dark to see. As above, so below, but hello. Bare-chested young magician with a yummy beard. Some people said he looks like Jesus, but I don't. I mean, I can see a resemblance, but I don't get really Jesus vibes there. But Jesus was one of the greatest magicians too. I also like that you have the Caduceus here, which is a symbol for Hermes. That goes back to Hermes Trismegistus, who supposedly coined the whole above so below. So cool. The realism in this deck. I don't usually like photorealistic paintings, but these are artwork. But these are done to look to me like pre-Raphaelite, so I really love it. Now, they're all white people, all skinny body, beautiful people. So diversity is not really the thing in this deck, unfortunately. Behind him, you can see another one of the ghost images, and this is like a temple. And that really struck me when I saw it, because I was like, yes, that's like his astral temple. So he has the sort of spiritual reservoir of his astral power that he's probably built up over the years, has created this astral temple. And so the whole as above, so below, this is force coming up behind him and manifesting down into reality. So that's just a stunning to me. And I'm going to try not to talk about Darkness of Light. I'll just let you look at it. The images are definitely very different. For one reason, this is so close to Rider-Waite. This deviates quite a bit, but the symbology, of course, is there. But I think mostly it's sort of the shadowy, moonlit, silver light, gray, and then the use of light. One of the things people love about the Darkness of Light tarot is also here, but it's almost like sometimes like just a spotlight coming down. But it's very beautiful. And then the sort of depth and 3D effect of the artwork is really cool too. James just found a lizard. Do you want to show him? Is it a skink or a lizard? You're not. Keep going. Keep going. Go down. Oh yeah, that's a green lizard. Cool. What are they? I forget what they're called. Hello, lizard. So this is the High Priestess. I get one. Sorry. You've got the black pillar, white pillar. You don't have the veil behind her, but instead you have the ghost image here of the camel. And this is another nod back to the Thoth Tarot. And some people have said too that this deck seemed a little too Christian for them. The only Christian imagery that I get is what's already in the Rider-Waite-Smith, which is already in Tarot de Marseille. What I actually see is that there are subtle changes to details that actually take it just slightly removed from a lot of the Christian symbolism, which I appreciate. So the book here is not the scroll, but it does still say Torah on it, but it looks like it has seals on there, and instead of a cross, it's actually an ankh. You've got the triple moon behind her, and I love she's on the rock. You've got the sword in the water, so you've got water behind her, but at her feet you see the crescent moon, but it's like it's a reflection of what's above. So you've got that above, so below tied in, but you don't see the above. You see the reflection in the water, which is really cool for the High Priestess. There's some other cards where the moon is actually, you see the moon and the reflection. So I like that you can't see the moon, but you can see the moon's reflection. Perfect for the High Priestess. The Empress. We've got, make sure I'm focused here. We've got the waterfall in the back. She's got a lyre here in the shape of the shield thingy. You've got the wheat. You've got this symbol here, up here, in the throne. And instead of the scepter, she's holding this white, looks like a lily. It's just, it's breathtaking to me. I love this big, huge fur coat behind her. She definitely seems of nature. And I like to read this card as both, female sovereign and as sort of Mother Nature. I like to combine the two. So, kudos from me. Emperor. Again, it sticks to the Rider-Waite symbolism or imagery all the way down to the colors, but it's just like this vibrant, come to life epic movie sort of effect in the paintings. It just is this ultra realistic, and then the use of light, the way that it shines down and glistens on the metal on the crown, just it's so striking. We've got the rams here. He's holding all the same stuff. I am absolutely getting my decks mixed in together. I shouldn't chew gum and walk at the same time. Hierophant. Just one of my favorite Hierophants ever in Darkness of Light. I love the hole in the temple where you can see the moon shining through to remind you can look beyond the structures of society. The hair is just gorgeous. And again, he's got the sort of crosses here, but there's also pentagrams going down. And instead of the triple cross, he's got a triple circles. There's the hexagram again here, the white dove. And I like that as he's doing the blessing, you see the white dove. So it's like the Holy Spirit coming down. There's a bull on this side with the earth symbol. There's an elephant here. You've got all the 4 symbols there. Dustin from Modern Metaphysicae is going to do a walkthrough of this, and he's going to go, I don't know if he's going to call it a deep dive, but he's going to go into all the esoteric symbols that these are really packed with. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for that. But again, the colors, everything, gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. The lovers. Now these two do look very reminiscent of each other. But we've got the Rider-Waite symbolism here. The 2 trees, which I hardly ever notice when I'm looking at the Rider-Waite, are very pronounced here. So you've got I guess the one with the flames would be the tree of knowledge, and the one with the fruit, the tree of life and the tree of knowledge, right? So yeah, I don't know which is which. But I like that light sword of the angel, because it reminds you of being expelled from the garden as well. Making choices. Don't choose poorly. Chariot. I don't ever get on with the chariot in the Rider-Waite because the sphinxes just don't do it for me. But here, they're almost alive, and I really like it. Again, hexagram. His armor, it just looks like silver or pewter or steel, the way it shines. And you've got the faces and the moons, you've got the stars, the canopy, the cities behind. It's just wonderful. It looks heavy, it looks like stone, but these sphinxes look like they can handle it. And of course, everyone's favorite chariot. I love it. Strength. Here's another nod back to the Thoth deck, I think. Strength in the Thoth deck is called Lust. And it's a woman. I think she's riding the lion. I can't remember. I think she's naked, but it's a beautiful picture. But the lion's tail is either a snake tail or a scorpion tail. I apologize. I don't actually have a Thoth deck currently. So if you see here, you can see the snake sort of sticking out, and I can only assume that it's supposed to be his tail. I haven't read the descriptions of all these yet, but so to me it looks like another nod back to the Lust card in the Thoth deck. But again, beautiful, and got the Limnus Gate, gorgeous. The Hermit, always one of my favorite cards. Again, the light from the lamp is just illuminating his face. This is Gandalf the Gray. And I say that because Gandalf the White is in here later. the Wheel of Fortune, which I don't usually like in decks because that, I don't know, looks like a seal. That doesn't look like a wheel to me. Excuse me. So I always love it when creators do something different with the Wheel of Fortune to give you that sense of fate. And, or for me anyway, I like wheels. But this looks like some kind of steampunk, or like a Dwemer creation from Skyrim. I can like hear the metal clinking and churning and grinding in gears, and man, that's just, and it's still the same imagery, but again, the detail, the 3D effect of it all is just fantastic. A plus from me. I'm so excited about this deck. And I have done readings with it, and because I read visually, one of the reasons I love Darkness of Light, same reasons I love this, the landscapes totally draw all of the figures into a stage, a setting together. Justice, yeah, I'm going to try to hurry along maybe a little bit. So here's another nod back to the Toth deck with the Hanged Man. One of the cards in the Toth deck that I really like a lot is the Hanged Man. It's got the Ankh, like the Toth. And I can't recall it all from memory, but I know this is very reminiscent of the Hanged Man in the Toth deck. Toth, Thoth, Thoth, Tote. I've heard all sorts of different variations for pronouncing that, and I don't know. Toth is the one that stuck with me, so love this Hanged Man. Makes me think of Odin. Death card. Again, it's so lovely. You've got the two towers with the sun coming up. Flag. The horse. Man, he's so cool. He's got this like fiery embers in his eyes. I'm gonna have to check this video to see if I've been in focus at all, because I haven't been checking. Yeah, I always love the death card. Oh, I just saw this today. There is, so he's not carrying a scythe, but there is one strapped to the side of the horse, which is really cool. Love that red feather. Any cool touches. I'm going to be finding details in these cards for ages, probably. Temperance. Again, you've got a lot of the same symbols, but it's not like sewn onto the dress. It looks like this spiritual light emanation that's being generated. The explosion here is actually a crown in this, in the Heaven and Earth Tarot. Is that what we're looking at? Yes, Heaven and Earth Tarot. I know you're supposed to pick up the pace. Alright. One of my favorite devil cards ever. One of my newest favorite devil cards ever. So again, all the same symbols, but just look at the detail. His feet. Claws on his feet. The male and female both have tails, but the guy's tail is on fire. Just gorgeous. Look at his hands. Oh. Love it. And the tower. And of course, the star must be beautiful. That's one of my deal breaker cards. Instead of standing on the edge, it looks like she's either kneeling with her knees in the water, or she's sitting on the side up to her knees. But one thing I love about it is these crystals. I do a moon vigil every full moon. I take a chalice of clear water, soak in the moonlight, drink it in, and I have a crystal a quartz crystal that I wear around my neck for that. So, you know, the Star Lady has to be beautiful. the moon, you have all the standard imagery. The wild dog, the wolf, and the tame dog. You've got the face and the moon, except she must be Diana or Artemis. And then the sun, I think that we have Apollo. Instead of the crayfish, though, we have what looks like a scarab that's got wings, but it also has pinctures, so I don't know if it's a certain type of winged beetle. I don't know that scarabs have pinctures like that, or if it's some kind of, I don't know, crab beetle thing. But I love that it as a representation of the subconscious and following, instinctual urges. You've got this creature evolved from the sea and now has wings. It's coming up, it's crawling out. It works for me. And the baby on a horse that everybody dislikes. I don't mind it in this because the realism looks pretty cool, but it's not any of my favorites. Not my favorite sun representation. What I don't like is this. It's just, I don't like the esoteric stuff to just be totally plopped on there. I don't mind it here. I like that the moon looks like Artemis or Diana. The face in the sun looks like Apollo. So I don't mind that, but my preference is always just a sun or just a moon. Here's our dog in the sun card. I wish I knew the dog's name. Judgment, I really like, because one of the things I like about the Darkness of Light Judgment is that the horn is pointed upward, so you get more like this feeling of an awakening, an uplifting, looking towards the heavens instead of the trumpet pointed down, like blasting him in the face. But Marseille is usually blasting him in the face too. So hey, wake up! But again, gorgeously rendered. World card. You've got the 4 evangelists, the 4 elements, the zodiac signs. Just gorgeously rendered. I like how Darkness of Light does the planets instead of the planets that rule each of those. And swords. Again, I find it's just gorgeous. I'm going to hold out the aces. I'm going to hold out the kings too. There's something really cool going on in the kings. 2. The stars are just beautiful. The silvery moonlight, the landscape. 3 of hearts. Again, it sticks with the traditional Rider-Waite Smith imagery, but it's not a bloody heart, and it's actually, there are roses inside, and it does have a figure like this. So I think that's very evocative. I like the traditional 3 swords in the heart because I'm metal. I just like striking images, and that's a striking image. Beautiful light coming through. Very silvery stained glass. It's not all colored, but you can very see faintly. In fact, you can almost see like a rainbow effect. I don't know if I'm just sleepy or what, but it's just like, it looks like real light. It's very beautiful. He is a very roguish, handsome devil. I love the ravens or crows or whatever they might be. And I totally forget about the keywords. I'm not going to read the keywords to you guys, but they are there. They don't, to me, usually have anything to do with the image, hardly. I think they work better in the Toth deck. It's not the exact same. Chris Crowley changed them up, but the images seem to work with the keywords. The Golden Dawn keywords have never made sense for me. So, but I am actually kind of cool. It's kind of cool to me that they're there. because doesn't mean they won't ever make sense. Who knows? Another handsome, roguish devil. Oops, what did I do? You're looking the same way. Red, blindfold. Instead of the roses, you have looks like planetary symbols on here. Didn't we see some in Jennifer's playdate? Yes, there's the moon. There's looks like Mercury or Gemini. Yeah, they're there. So very good attention to detail. And another one people hate, which I love. Ruin actually works as a fantastic keyword. That you've got the sun coming up, and well, whereas these look very much stabbed in, you can see the shadows. These almost looks like the very tips, if anything, is actually touching him. That one looks like it might be a little bit bloody, but I like a good striking image. Alright, so that brings us to the quartz. The quartz are very heavily elemental, which I actually appreciate. I don't read all of the cards elementally. The pips and the Rider-Waite to me rarely, if ever, have anything to do with their element. There's water here, rain here, clouds, that could be air. There's a sky growing across water again. So the elemental associations to the suits I hardly ever use. If I use elements in a spread, it will be a card to put down in air or a card to put down in fire, and I'll go from there. But the quartz do express their element. You've got the clouds and the wind. You've got the clouds and the wind, airy guy. Clouds, the bird, the sky, clouds and the sky. Some of the other ones are a little more have a little more symbolism. So I appreciate that that is carried over in here, but it's drawn out a lot more. The quartz are all in their element. So swords here are, if not in the clouds, very high up in the misty, in the mist and the clouds. So, and you'll see as we go through the other quartz that they do that too. So, very cool. I like that. So we have the princesses here instead of pages, which I like. Her breastplate reminds me of Elizabeth in the second Elizabeth movie. It's that chainmail, the detail. I don't know if you can even see. Just so cool. Lovely page. And here we have some of the ghosting effects here for the suit of swords, the air. You have like these sort of angelic faces. This one just has a symbol. The other quartz seemed more almost totem-ish. They're almost all animals. The sword suit does something a little bit weird. So, but there's that ghosting image there. And sometimes you can actually see animals, ghosting animals in here too. I don't see any on that one. On the knight. Oh, isn't that horse gorgeous? Oh, sorry. There, you can see. I hope this whole thing hasn't been blurred. I don't want to do it over. Love the three trees. Again, you still have a lot of the imagery just straight from RWS, but it's just gorgeous. And some of the faces, they're like crystal clear, and some they're almost blurred out, and then some just seem to kind of blend in well. But gosh, the clothing in this deck, I don't know. I just have a thing for well done fabric effects in decks. It's something that I've noticed in the past year. I think the Efflorescent Tarot was the first time I noticed it, and then the Dreaming Way Tarot. I'm just like, I just love the details in the clothes. I don't know. Queen of Swords. She is awesome. She is holding a severed head. She's got this sort of rainbow portal halo thing around her. There's a cherub face with wings and that little ghosting image there. Just wonderful. There's detail in the throne. Alright, so the kings. So a lot of folks associate, like the queens represent the environment, and the kings are sort of mastery, but also elementally. So pages are earth, knights are fire, and these, I'm sure there are all kinds of ways to look at them, and there are. Queens are water, and so kings are air. But I think sometimes kings are fire and knights are air. I don't know. Pages seem airy to me because it seems like learning, and I don't know. But what I like about this deck is that instead of just a throne, like the queen, because then they're all doing something different. She's walking, he's on a horse, she is seated on a throne, and then all of the kings are on chariots. So you have this idea of power and authority, like sitting on a throne, but it's a moving throne. So it's like the power and authority in action, in movement, which I like quite a bit. So I'm going to keep out all of the kings so you can see, because the things that are pulling the thrones correspond to the four evangelists on the world card, and in the Wheel of Fortune. So, and their planetary alignments and the elements that go with them. So the element of air is being drawn by cherubs, which are angels, which represent air in the world card. There's the cherub face with the wings again. So it's drawing in that air, those sort of air associations with the little ghosting figures here. But I like that he's holding a sickle. He's got that rainbow halo too. The crowns are really cool looking. Four little cherubs with pentacles on them, drawing his chariot. So I'm going to set that aside. And then we'll move on to the cups. Oh, love him. Ace of Cups. That water looks like it is straight out of Galadriel's well. Like it's just sparkling full of starlight or something. It's gorgeous. The Two of Cups. Keyword is love. You've got the, I don't know what that's called. It looks like the Caduceus, but I don't know. That one is. But you've got the two cups here with this flowing and intermingling of water between them, and like a lotus in the thing. But here's where you have one of the ghosting images in the pip cards. These are dolphins. There's a dolphin swimming up, and there's a dolphin swimming down, so you get this almost circular effect with a water creature. Really cool. Love this Three of Cups. That just looks like World Tree ready to travel through that little hole into the upper world, which is a Heaven and Earth tarot, so maybe that is. I really wish that there was a redhead instead of two blondes, because then they would remind me of the Witches of Eastwick, and I love that movie, but they can still be my Witches of Eastwick. I love seeing this outfit like come to life. There's like leather boots. It just looks so real, and it's the same colors. He looks a little more content, as if it's meditating, instead of being looking like he's missing out on something or bored, which is I think more people are starting to associate with this with more of a mindful, meditative. But again, when you read visually, the story always changes. No meanings are baked in. I like this with the upside down pentagram. It's like, okay, focusing on material, concerns right now. Above is in the below. This is what we used to use to invoke spirit down to earth. So yeah, head pointed down, things are messed up. Earthly concerns for the moment. This is beautiful. This is definitely a departure. I find it interesting that we have looks like a mom and a child, and this may be a mom and a child or a big sister. I have seen that in some other card recently. I think it was in the Victorian Tarot. Here it looks like more of an older brother, but they are inside, and this is just a gorgeous room open to the field. Not usually enamored with the conventional Seven of Cups because these things just look like Scooby-Doo. That, I guess. But, you know, I get the intention behind it. So here we've just got flowers, which is kind of cool, but we've got a castle in the air, which represents, you know, the same thing. But these are so beautifully rendered. I want to take that dragon home. Oh, he's so cool. And the cups throughout, they just look like silver or pearl. Just so cool. And here is Gandalf the White. I love. They did change the imagery on this a little bit. They given the red and white. To me, that is almost a callback to the magician. So we have the young magician, and then we have maybe the old magician, and he's learned what he's needed to learn, and he's ready to move on to whatever's next. And we have the Artemis or Diana face in the moon here. This is another callback to the Thoth deck. I can't recall exactly. There's a few cards that have these really. Oh well, all of them are based on a lot of geometry, but it's almost like the fountains going. It's really pretty. I love his little red turban. Red turban. White clothes. I love him. And the Ten of Cups. Princess of Cups. Water element. She's actually got a couple of animals. The ghost image up here above her is a beautiful swan. Instead of a fish, there's a turtle coming out. And this is another dolphin here. You can see the foam. It's just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And the knight. Oh, isn't he wonderful? He's like white and silver. It's like something straight out of Lord of the Rings. My phone drifts a little bit. God, this is longer than I wanted. Of the crab, again, an animal. And his ghost image is a little more difficult to see, but it's a peacock. So it makes me think of Lucifer. One of Lucifer's animals is a peacock. This queen is beautiful. Not just her, but actually the whole arrangement here. There's something. That's a crayfish. There's a bird here. I don't know if it's an albatross. I don't know if it's. I can't quite make it out, so I will have to look in the book for that and hope. This looks like the moon, and her crown is gorgeous. There's a crane or a heron here. And our King of Cups, again, moving throne. He is on a chariot. And the Scorpio symbol, eagle for water, is drawing his chariot. And the little ghost image above his head is a bald eagle. He's got cobras around his arm here, lotus flower. God of the Sea. And wands. Fire, light. This could be a callback to Choth, I'm not sure. The clothing, again, the detail is just incredible. It's like a moon, ships. His fur, the cloak, this looks like straight out of Game of Thrones. Love the structure here. It's like a temple or a church with a red door. This is definitely a departure. Whoops, not too far. But you'll see that both of these artists chose to do this instead of the traditional conflict. Now I've seen images sometimes where they're trying to put together a pentagram and can't, so they're not coordinating together. But I would have to sit with that one for a little bit. There's a caduceus image, sort of, at the top. I'll definitely want to read that one. Love that. This look, and sorry about that, my phone fell off. I don't have the best rig here, but we're zoomed in now. I meant to do that after showing the box and stuff and forgot, so I don't know. I may redo this whole video. I feel like I've just been rambling way too much. I didn't want it to be this long. I was saying that these two look very much alike, but again, God, beautiful horse. Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings. That's just gorgeous. There we go. Very, very similar clothing. Looks like some kind of Viking, but I think, yeah, Jonathan. I laughed when he looked at this card too, because I also, for some reason, it looks like a giant. There's nothing in the card to indicate scale, really, of any kind, or that it should be a giant. There's no little houses or anything, but for some reason it just looks like a giant. I don't know, that little rivulet looks like it should be a big river or something. It's weird. And then Jonathan said the same thing, and I was like, yeah, and I don't know why. It just looks like he's a giant. A very handsome giant. 8 of Wands. 9 of Wands. Again, the clothing, isn't that amazing? The light coming down, looks like it's some kind of misty forest. The landscapes again draw me in. And here, suit of Wands, suit of fire. Our courts are all in fire. Her little ghost image is either a leopard or a jaguar. Oops. And look at that staff. We've got some kind of horned antelope or something over here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The knight. Looks like some kind of hell horse. I dig it. Hell rider. I do think the queens to me seem a bit young. Big black cat. That's the king. There we go. I'm like, where is the cat? There's a lizard. Black cat, big black cat. Jaguar or leopard again, I don't know. And the same shepherd or jaguar, but this one has wings. Oops. And the king. Fire, Leo, lion is driving the chariot of fire. He is pretty rich. aside. Ace of Pentacles. Again, you just want to walk into that. This looks like, yeah, Mr. Frodo. What's Bilbo say? Most dangerous thing is walking outside your door, Mr. Frodo. You never know where the road's going to take you. I want to walk the road. She is neat. This is like flowy movements, balance. Look at the yin yang. Ships being tossed around at sea, just like here. This is gorgeous. You get the same sort of, I don't know, cathedral building here, but oh my gosh, this is so atmospheric. Really well done, I think. It just brings these images to life. This is really cool here with the 4 elements going on. Looks more esoteric than just holding on to greed. What is this? Earthly power. I think that actually matches earthly power. Okay, here we go. Again, gorgeous. There's the dog. Quite traditional. I love this one, and I love this one. The moon or the sun, I don't know, the sun in the mist, or it's the moon, full moon. It's just beautiful, the way light. Tap on that a bit. Yep. It's not going to come in very crisp for some reason. 9 of coins, one of my favorites. Always want to see the bird of prey. She even got the 2 trees, just like here. One of my favorite 10 of coins. You just need the dog. Dog by the hearth. I mean, that straight up looks like King's Landing, doesn't it? In the background. Oops. I love her little drapey thing. She has a ram with wings. That's her little ghost image. Love this forest, though. Oh, it's beautiful. And the Knight of Pentacles has my favorite. It's a stag with wings. Like a Patronus or something. They're really cool. And when I first pulled this card, it just took me straight back home to my childhood, because this looks like fields of corn. And Knight of Pentacles, to me, very earthy. It always makes me think of, you know, earthy fields, but that is just, I don't know, so it pulls on my heartstrings. A field of corn. Queen has some kind of ram thing here with wings. I love her crystal staff. It doesn't look hokey. Crystals in paintings and stuff sometimes look so hokey to me. Out in nature, very lady of the forest, lady of the earth feel. And our king of coins, of course, Earth. His chariot's being pulled by the elemental bull, Taurus. And his little ghost image is some kind of bird. Again, I cannot tell what it is. I'll have to read and find out. It looks like a Jersey cow almost. Very gentle, very slow moving, purposeful chariot here as the bull stops to eat some flowers on the way to wherever they're going. Now, he really does look like Jesus to me. And I think it's a very, very beautiful image. The faces on a lot of these just are so realistic. It really is nice. Alright. So, oops. I wanted to show, first of all, the 4 aces. Oh, I didn't pull them all out. What am I missing? Ace of Wands. Well, oh, there it is. And cups. Oh no, government cups, coins. So these are very standard Rider-Waite images, I think, except for the wands, which is very fiery. You don't really have fire imagery that you get an earthy feel, but definite fire. The light. I love the way the light radiates from the ace here as well, or from the coin, pentacle. And again, this looks like star water. And here we're in the clouds. Beautiful. And then let's arrange the kings in the order they are on the world and the wheel. So we have the angels first for air. We have the eagle in that corner for water. We have the lion for fire, Leo, and the bull for earth, Taurus. So, pretty cool that the kings are on moving thrones, chariots being pulled by the penultimate power animal or creature of their suit. Very cool. I will shuffle and lay some cards out, I guess. I feel like there's something else I should say, but I don't remember. And this is too long. And I hope it all turned out, because I don't know. I feel like I've babbled so much, I should just redo it. I did not talk the whole time about darkness of light, though, so that is a good thing, right? I'm going to do a walkthrough of that soon. So, for most people, riffle shuffling probably won't be a problem. I have weak hands because of pain. But I can still riffle it. It's just Lo Scarabeo cardstock to me just tends to be a bit too stiff. If you overhand shuffle, it's great because these are kind of glossy and they slide really well. I don't know why I keep trying to bridge. I don't bridge well even with good cards. I mean, bendy cardstock. Yeah. I'll do this off camera. Can't reach around that way. I'm just going to lay down 3 cards, just so you can get a sense of how well the landscapes play with each other. Very easy to create tableau. That is Jane's getting onto our oldest. Forgetting I'm on camera. I'm just going to lay some down. the consistent color palette I think is really cool. I got some bleeding on the edges from my edging job. Oops. That would help, wouldn't it? That would help. So I really like this deck. I've done some really cool readings with it. If you're familiar with Rider-Waite, you'll have no problem reading with this deck. It's just like RWS brought to life almost. It's so realistic. The artwork again reminds me of pre-Raphaelite. It doesn't, to me, have that sort of photorealistic artificialness to it. It actually seems like a painting, and I don't know his actual process, but Gandalf the White. This all just seems of a world to me. So, yeah, I'm gonna get going here. Love that night. And thanks for watching. There we go. There's our Fool. And our Queen. Alrighty, guys. I will see y'all next time. I have a whole bunch of stuff I need to do walkthroughs of. Talk to you later. Bye. Or, God. I'm just gonna have to redo this. Yep. Goodbye.